Good evening, America. Today we begin with Minnesota, the land of lakes, lutefisk, and apparently political assassinations. Yes, on June 14th, Minnesota experienced what Governor Tim Walz bluntly called a politically motivated assassination. Not a rogue protester, not a heated debate over hot dish recipes, an actual cold-blooded, premeditated assassination. Former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed in their home. Meanwhile, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife survived a similar attack. Barely. The suspect? A man impersonating a police officer. I mean, just to be clear, the guy had body armor, emergency lights, and a fake squad car. This wasn't Halloween cosplay gone wrong. This was deliberate, militarized cosplay with a kill list. Segment 2, the morning of terror. Let's look at the timeline because this isn't just horrifying, it's horrifyingly organized. At 2 a.m., 911 gets a call. Shots fired at the Hoffman residence. Both Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette were critically wounded. About 90 minutes later, Brooklyn Park police check in on Melissa Hortman, and there they encounter the suspect. In full cop cosplay, he opens fire, retreats into the house, and disappears like he's Batman, but fascist. And then, boom, Melissa and her husband are dead. The suspect escapes, and the public now gets to play the thrilling new game called Is That Cop Real? Spoiler, if you have to ask, it's already too late. Segment 3, the fake cop and real danger. The suspect, Vance Luther Bolter. Sound familiar? He should. He was appointed by Governor Mark Dayton and reappointed by Governor Walz to a workforce development board. That's right, he went from resume building to reality ending. Now he's accused of killing 2 political figures and shooting 2 more. His car contained flyers for a protest movement called No Kings, which is either a call for democratic accountability or the least fun Renaissance fair you've ever been to. Authorities found a kill list in his car. Not just notes scribbled on a napkin, an actual detailed list that included U.S. Senator Tina Smith. Yes, he had national ambitions, just without the campaigning part. Segment 4, law enforcement's crisis of confidence. Because this guy impersonated a cop so well, law enforcement had to tell citizens, do not open the door for police unless you call 911 first. Yes, in 2025, we now need a 2-step authentication for cops. It's like Gmail, but for not getting shot. And police are now patrolling in pairs because nothing says land of the free like, hey, Steve, don't go alone or you might get ambushed by someone who thinks he's starting the revolution. Segment 5, No Kings movement in the spotlight. So, what is No Kings anyway? It's a movement opposing authoritarianism. They were protesting on Trump's birthday because what better way to say no kings than yelling at a 79-year-old president while he rides a tank in a gold-plated parade? But now that a murderer had their flyers, the whole movement's under a microscope. Some rallies were canceled, others went ahead, defiant, shaken, and now flanked by real police nervously scanning for fake police. One protester said, "I'm more scared than yesterday, but I'm also really pissed," which might be the slogan for all-American political engagement right now. Segment 6, political fallout. The response from leadership? Bipartisan shock. Governor Walz called it a politically motivated assassination. Donald Trump condemned the violence. And Tina Smith found out her name was on the list, so she's probably reconsidering answering her door for anyone, including Grubhub. Even former Rep. Gabby Giffords, who knows this kind of horror firsthand, weighed in, as did Josh Shapiro, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. Apparently, the only thing that can unite American politicians today is the shared experience of not wanting to get shot. Segment 7, the broader implications. This wasn't just an attack on individuals, it was an attack on the democratic process.
When disagreement escalates from hashtags to handguns, we're no longer talking about politics. We're talking about warfare.
With press conferences, the use of a police disguise weaponized public trust. It changes the conversation from how do we protest to who can we trust at the door. Segment 8, looking forward, or just over our shoulders. So what happens now? More security for public officials? Definitely. More confusion about who to trust in uniform? Sadly, Yes. More calls for toning down the rhetoric? Sure, until the next tweet storm. What's clear is that our democracy just took a direct hit from within. Not by a foreign power, not by a shadowy cabal, but by a guy who used to be on a workforce board, which might be the most American twist in this whole horror story. If we want to keep saying no kings, we have to start saying yes to safety, to sanity, and to stopping the next guy before he gets body armor and a plan. And that's the Klepper's Corner you didn't want, but definitely needed.